Hello and welcome to this short video where I want to talk about the old and the new Copilot Studio experience and whether they are best enemies or whether they work better together. And hopefully all of you identified the change that happened over the last couple of weeks where we moved basically from the old Copilot Studio experience or the old world, how I call it here, to a new experience that you can make use of. And the big question is, of course, do you have to migrate all of your existing Copilot Studio agents to the new world, or can you kind of use them together? And that's something I want to answer based on an example. And the example is simple. So the new Copilot Studio does not have computer use available, at least not yet. And the question is, hey, do we have to stick with the old Copilot Studio if we want to use computer use cases? Or can we kind of combine these two things together? And that's something I want to show you in my short next demo. So let's have a look together. Okay, so I'm here in Copilot Studio, and this is the old or classic Copilot Studio experience. So you can see I have here knowledge tools, the topics, and everything that you might be familiar with. And what did I do? Well, I created here this agent with two tools. The one is using computer use, and the other one is sending an email. And how that works together, well, that's specified in the instructions. So basically, I run this computer use tool and then I take the result and send an email out of it. Now, if you have a look at the computer use tool, it's very simple because I just want to have an example how this works and how can it work together. So I basically open the calculator on my computer. I take some random three-digit numbers, add them together, and then show the result. So that's what this kind of classic agent is doing. And now I created a new agent, but this time in the new user interface. Yeah. And what did I do and how did I combine it? Well, you know that we cannot directly connect the old and the new agents here through the connected agents. So that was a big of an issue because if I want to combine it, then I need to link them kind of together. And what did I do? You can see it here. I created a workflow, and what does this workflow do? Well, it's very simple. So it says basically when an agent calls the flow, so my new agent, when the new agent calls the flow, I directly respond. And the answer is basically, hey, we will run computer use and wait a bit. Yeah? And then at the same time, in parallel, I execute this agent. And you see the agent is here, the classic agent. It runs the computer use, and that's it. Of course, you have also other possibilities. You could, instead of executing this agent, you could use this one or this one. But the problem with the other options is they time out. Especially if computer use runs for a couple of minutes, then the other options that you have here, they are not really good. So therefore, I just start the agent. I do not even wait. I just say, hey, go along. And then what I'm doing is basically, I created a second flow. And of course, this is something you can do better and different. Yeah? But what I did here is I did here a second flow. When the new email arrives with the result, then I'm sending a message back to this one. And what you can see here is this new computer agent. The new one gets basically a message, hey, here is the result. That's what I did. Yeah? And now, well, let's have a look at how this works. And of course, what we are doing is we started here. I embedded the new computer use agent here, and I can say, hey, run computer use, please. And then what will happen is, of course, the first workflow will start, trigger the old Copilot Studio agent that will run then computer use, and then hey, we will see in a minute that an email arrives. I do not want to wait for that, but I want to show you something that you allows you to track these things. So first, if you embed this here in M365, you can see here from my previous runs, what I did here at 7:17, for example, I just said, hey, please run the computer use tool. Then you can dig into that. You can see what happened. So basically, I was chatting, and then this tool was used, and then later I got an answer. You can directly track that here. So the answer came here 3 minutes later, which is across the 2 minutes timeout. So, and here you should be able to see the response that we got. So here is the computer use. So if we open that one, you can see, hey, here is the summary of the results that I got. And of course, that is something you cannot only track here. Some of you might know that we have a new capability to track the results, and that is here in the agent operations. So if you click on agent operations, you can see the sessions. So let's have a quick look at my computer use, the new tool. And then we can monitor the different sessions that we have. And inside of the sessions, if we scroll down here a bit and look at the different sessions, wait a minute, I scroll too much. So if we click on that, for example, then you can see, hey, what happened in which step. Yeah? And of course, based on my setup, I should also receive an email soon saying that the result was completed. But you see, it takes a while. So this is from my previous run where you see here is what the user gets. Yeah? But in combination or in summary, there are different ways how you can combine the old and the new world. And a very smart and easy way is using here these workflows. And if you want, yeah, then you can do it like me. Just execute the agent, or you can say execute and wait. And then track the results either via a separate email or directly inside of the user experience here. Or if you want, you can also then track the sessions here in this agent operations. So that's it, what I wanted to share with you. And now let's go back to my PowerPoint for some closing remarks. So after this short demo and after the Soccer World Cup finished, of course, I have a soccer analogy. And what is that? Well, I'm from Germany, and you know that Germany won the Soccer World Cup 2014. And a famous saying is never change the winning team. So, related to our Copilot Studio agent use case, hey, stick with what you have and what you build. Yeah? Don't reinvent the wheel, don't do everything again. But only if you have to. And again, if you see what happened over the last years with our soccer team, maybe this might be time for a change. And you might also find out when you build something in the old user interface that you might have to change. But it depends. Yeah. So don't overdo it and don't just scrap everything that you built in the past. Okay, so that's it, what I wanted to share with you. Thanks for watching and listening, and always looking forward to seeing you in the next video.